Okay guys, welcome back. Today a bit different. I have here the thing I ask you, the questions I ask you. I provided you the opportunity to ask me some questions because I figured I always wanted to do this, right? And if you are there on the live streams, then you also always hear a lot of personal stuff from me. I'm not the biggest private guy. I don't have a big problem telling even you guys who honestly I don't really know, but I'm always enjoying hanging out with you in the live stream. I'm don't really have any areas in my life where I'm like, okay, I can't tell you that. I can't tell that to basically a stranger. That's just not who I am. I'm pretty open when it comes to that. So I always wanted to make this a video, but then I also wanted to wait until we have some more people in the community so we can get more questions. And we have 11 questions here that I will go over through. Thanks for writing them. Thanks for asking them. You can definitely, if you want, post more questions. If you have more questions that you would like to know, and then if we get enough, then I will do another video where I will also answer more questions. This can definitely be an over time thing, but you can also always, just so you know, you can also always be in the live streams, which is where I definitely communicate a lot with you guys. I know that I don't answer all the comments, which is because there are a lot of them, and this is only a side thing for me at the moment. But if you're there in the live streams, which we always do when there is a new pack basically, and then sometimes additional live streams where I climb the ladder or where I play some tournaments, you can always also come there. I'm always happy to have you there and ask you questions there. But without further ado, let's see what you have here for us. The real TCG guy asking, hey Tim, I'm a big fan. Thank you. I was wondering what other trading card games do you play and what do you play for video games? Keep up the great work. Thanks man, thanks for the comment. I will. What other trading card games do you play? So I don't really play other trading card games. I have been playing, so if you want to talk card games and online games, so I have been playing Hearthstone before. Hearthstone was definitely my main card game, online card game that I played from, I don't know, the release of Hearthstone until, I don't know, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, you know, because it was like this. 2 years ago, I was playing Hearthstone. It was like November or something like this. And my friends who were playing Master Duel, back then I wasn't playing Master Duel and Yu-Gi-Oh! So I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before when I was a child until basically the start of the Edison format, you could say, when the first Synchro Monsters came out. I left the game because then it wasn't really my thing anymore. I had different interests at that point. But my friends were playing Master Duel once again. And they were like, hey, come over to Master Duel, go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. And I didn't know about the new Yu-Gi-Oh! So I tried it once with them with a new account, wanted to play Branded Despia, but really hated it and then skipped it again. And then I was playing Hearthstone, but I have played a lot of Hearthstone. I was played in some tournaments. Also, I streamed once playing Hearthstone over on Twitch for a while. This was definitely also fun, but streaming here with you guys is more fun, and I also like Yu-Gi-Oh! More than I do Hearthstone. Even though Hearthstone is a very fun game, it's very cool. It has a great replayability in the sense that there are a lot of random effects happening in Hearthstone. So sometimes you generate cards from another class that you wouldn't even be able to get if you play the specific class that you play at the moment. So this is what I really personally liked about Hearthstone, and I enjoyed it. But then there was a time in November where I was like, okay, I need another card game. I want to try something different. And then I got to play Magic the Gathering Arena online, right? So I played this. I played it for like a month. I climbed to the top rank on the ladder, and then I was like, oh, okay, basically I have the feeling that I know everything about Magic now. Obviously I don't, but I had reached the peak at that point already, and I liked the game, but then again, it wasn't that complicated. It was boring for me personally because I had the feeling all the base mechanics I know, and there is not much to discover for me from this point. This was my feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. As I already said, I dipped in there once or 1 month. I also played Legend of Runeterra a few months until they basically killed the game, or the competitive scene Legends of Runeterra also liked. But all of these games are very, very simple compared to Yu-Gi-Oh! Which why I came back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Then in the same year where my friends basically said, come back to Yu-Gi-Oh! In December, my friend gifted me a Dark World structure deck, and we played with our old cards. And then I tried Master Duel once again Brand Despia, and then I was hooked, and the rest is history basically. What other video games do I play? I have played a lot of Diablo 2 back in the day when I was like 15 or something. I played so much Diablo 2 and grinded so much. I like the Borderland games. At the moment, I'm playing for a while now. I'm playing with my friends Total War Warhammer 3 at the moment, the strategy game. But I've always enjoyed strategy games like Age of Empires. I've played a lot of Warhammer Dawn of War, so the Warhammer 40k games, Dawn of War 1, Dawn of War 2. I really like them. Also participated in tournaments back in Warhammer Dawn of War 1 and 2 and was a bit successful, I would say, but these were games I always played. And then I have to say I played a lot, but I always liked these strategy games. I always liked card games, but then I also like role-play games like the old Gothic games. I played Elden Ring and really loved it. Then played the Dark Souls games, and also obviously Pokemon. I'm a big Pokemon fan. Whenever the new Pokemon edition comes out, I'm going to play it. And sometimes back in the day when I wasn't or I didn't have like the console that I needed for the new game, sometimes I just bought the console, which was like pretty crazy. What's your favorite football team? Depending on whether you are talking German football or American football, Patriots were my favorite football team, but I'm not so much in the scene right now. I only watched the Super Bowl. I have a 49ers hoodie, but only because I like the hoodie. So I would say my favorite football team. Americans, tough to say. I don't really have a favorite at the moment. And then when it comes to German football, I don't enjoy German football at all. So I can't really answer that. I would say if you want to go American football, I still kind of like the Patriots, I guess, but not really. So don't really have a favorite there. And then German football is not for me. I find this so boring. It's just such a boring game. I went to the stadium sometime here in Osnabrück, where I come from, basically, and it was fun to be there, but I really don't enjoy the games. When there is the European or the World Championship, I sometimes watch or go to these public watch parties that are here in Germany. So in the most cities, there are these public parties where you can go and watch the game. This is fun because you see people, but I'm more there for the social aspect. So not the biggest football fan. Do you play TCG active like on locals and stuff? If yes, do you play with meta decks or budget decks? Favorite deck? Love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you, Monet. I do. In fact, in 2 days I'm preparing for it right now. Otherwise, I would have played some of the tournaments this week in Master Duel, but I'm going to regional in 2 days. We have a team. So in my local scene here, we have formed a team, and we are quite active when it comes to going to bigger events like regionals, or we will also be at the German nationals in Münster, which funny enough is basically totally close to us. We will be there as a team. So if you see me there and you're from Germany, then come right up and say hi. I would be happy to meet you there. But yeah, I'm definitely very, very active. At the beginning, I've played a lot of locals. I don't play as many locals because I really like the bigger ones, the OTSs, the regionals, the nationals, and have not been to YCS, but definitely, or the opens as well, but have not been to the YCS, but definitely will be going if there is one. So yeah, I'm totally into that. I love it. I love the competitive side of it. It's just how I am as a person, I guess. And I always play meta decks, same as here in Master Duel. I don't play. I guess I obviously do play budget decks. I play the best meta decks that I can get for a budget, because obviously paying a lot of money is really Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, so you have to always find like the crossroads. But the cool thing is that as a team right now, we have the opportunity. We have a lot of decks within the team. So for example, for the regional at the weekend, because a lot of us already have the qualifier for the European Championship, I have borrowed pure Snake Eyes from a friend. Shout out to Felix. Thank you for lending that to me. So we have access to a lot of decks in our team, which is quite nice. So that's also a cool thing. Deadboy VSD asking, are you single? What is uwu? You whatever. This is a friend of mine, but yes, I am single. A few people that have followed the live streams might have noticed that I had a girlfriend back in the day, back in December until January, but then we broke up. So I am single at the moment, but being single in summer is also quite nice. It's quite fun. So I can't complain. A big C5454 asks, hey Tim, thanks for the good content. Thank you. Firstly, how do you feel about cards that special summon from the hand for almost no cost, like Fenrir or Diabellstar? Very specific question. what do I think about them? I honestly say, I always have to say, I don't have like a hard opinion on these cards. I can't say like I hate them or I love them. I think that it's nice that you have these different kind of mechanics. I think this is what makes Yu-Gi-Oh great. So this inherent game summon mechanic, and then you also have effects that are basically activated effects that want to special from the hand, like, I don't know, Sour Avis or something. So I like it that there are different kind of from the hand special effects, either an inherent summon where you don't even activate an effect, but also effects where you do activate an effect. So I like all the stuff that brings more deepness to the game, and this is, in my opinion, what makes Yu-Gi-Oh great. So I guess I'm a fan. What is your favorite summon mechanic of the current format? In Master Duel, or are we talking like TCG? But favorite summon mechanic of the current format. So I guess, this is also a tough question. My favorite, I think Link is my favorite in both TCG and Master Duel. I don't know why, but Link is just the coolest. Then it would be, if you are talking about summoning mechanic, if this is what you're talking about, then I think I like XYZ because I just like the black cards. And then I would say Synchro and Fusion would be my least favorable one, even though I like Fusion decks like Burnt Espia and T-Elements, but it's just not my, I don't really like it. And I also don't like Ritual, even though I have Voice, what I play in real life, and I also like the deck, but Ritual I don't really like. And this is most important, by appearance only, what is your favorite archetype? By appearance only, what is my favorite archetype? This is a tough question. I really like the Temper Dragon stuff that is now out in the TCG from an artwork perspective. I also always love the Kashtira cards, which I know that some people hate the Kashtira cards for whatever reason, but I think artwork wise they are really, really cool. But I have to say, at the moment, the Tenpai stuff is really great. They look really great on paper. The Red Dragon, the Shundra, and the Synchro Summon Dragons, they look amazing. I love the art. Even the spell cards, the Kaiman and the Sengen Summoning, they also look great. So I have to say it would be Tenpai at the moment. Tebotism620 asks, do you have a huge Yu-Gi-Oh card collection? I don't have a huge collection. I can show you. I basically have these 2 binders full of cards here. So 2 binders I have. Then I have my deck. And up there in my cupboard, you could say, I also have a lot of like bulk stuff lying around. So I'm more of the, I don't open like displays or something if I can avoid it, but I'm more like buying the singles that I need. So I guess that makes me not having the biggest card collection. But for example, I give you an example. Now that the Rarity Collection 2 comes out, I will definitely buy all the meta relevant stuff, all the stuff that you always need. And now I'm blanking on the name for cards that you always need, like an Ash Blossom or Mega Staple. Yeah, I'm buying all the staples in super rare. So I guess not the biggest collection because I'm not a collector. I'm definitely a player, and I'm also a player. Personally, I would never buy something in Quarter Century Secret Rare if I can get it in super rare because it's way cheaper in super rare. I'm that kind of guy. I want to play the best decks, but then I also want to play the budget version. So I would never go, for example, if I could get a really high rare deck that's not that great, or the best meta deck that is low rare, I would always get the low rare meta deck, and then I would also always buy cards that I need for that. So that's how I am as a player, but also because I'm right now as a student a bit on a limited budget, so that's why I have to check there a bit. But I would also go and do it if I would have more money when I go for work or something, or then I would still buy the cheap stuff. I don't really care about like high rarity stuff, so, and I'm also not a card collector, so I guess my card collection is kind of practical in the sense that I have all the cards that I need to play the decks that I want to. Rodel asks, hello, how much money have you spent in Master Duel account overall? I would say around about 200 or 250 euros, not that much. If you ask me over 2 years, that's totally fine. I also think the free-to-play aspect of the game is quite fair, I have to say. A friend of mine and we recently talked about the fact that it has become more expensive in the sense that archetypes have now more ultra-rares that you need to craft than before. He pointed out to me, for example, that what were we talking about, like Swords Soul or stuff like this. They didn't have that many ultra rares today. Sword Soul would probably have 3 more ultra rares. Probably the Sword Soul Emergence, the spell card would also be one. And he showed me Drytron and stuff like this from the beginning Master Duel, where it was cheaper, he said, and I think I do disagree. So 250, I would say. And the funny story, I told this on live stream before, but most of this is from a 160 purchase that I made in the beginning. So in the beginning, in December, I started 2 years ago, and then I made Branded Despia, and then I always lost against Sword Soul. And I was like, I want to play Sword Soul, but my resources were gone, and there was no discount, no gem discount. And I wasn't aware when would the next gem discount be. It actually, I think it was 3 months down the line until it came. So I went there, and for 80 euros, I bought 2 times the biggest package that you can buy. So a really bad deal, and then pulled from the Sword Soul pack and barely managed to get the deck. So I basically bought Sword Soul back in the day for 160 euros. This was a big mistake, but yeah, this is the main bulk of the money I have spent in the game, at least of this moment. King Nazareno 9827. Hey, for long have you playing TCG, and what decks do you have? So I kind of answered this. I played TCG back in the day, from the beginning actually until the beginning of Synchro format, and then I started back again. I play for 1.5 years right now. I've been back in the TCG. My first deck when I came back was I bought 3 structure deck Trap Tricks, but then I was like, because it was cheap and I wanted to go to locals, but then I was like, and that's just how I am, right? I was like, no, I want a deck that is stronger. And then I bought, because I liked it, the complete Mathmech deck, also for very cheap at that time, for 160 euros with staples and stuff. That was pretty cheap. And then went to locals, and the next thing I bought was Labyrinth, I think. Then I got the Fire King Snake Eye stuff. I also have Voiceless Voice at the moment. I have a Flannery's Core lying around just to have it if I want to. I have basically the Tenpai stuff minus the Trident Dragon, which gets the reprint now as a core to be ready at any time, I guess. And these are the decks I currently have, though. The Labyrinth stuff I have gotten rid of a lot of the Labyrinth stuff that was expensive, like the Big Welcome. I sold them for 20, which is nice. They are definitely lower now. Chaos Angel and stuff I sold. I have the basics of Labyrinth still, like the Lady, Ariana and stuff are lovely. So I would not need to pick up as many cards if I wanted to play it again. But these are the decks I currently have. Baber123, hey Tim, just wondering what you're studying in school, also what career you're aiming for after you finish. Thanks for your videos. Thank you, man. Happy that you enjoy it. I am studying, some people might have already heard this in the stream, I'm studying my master's in business psychology. But I've also been working self-employed back in the day for 5 years. So this is also something I did. Worked as a coach. I might once again be self-employed after the studies. So I'm always a person, I guess I always will be some kind of self-employed person. This is also why I have the channel, because I really like to do my stuff, and I also like to do it the way I want to do it, which I guess does not make me the best employee, but remains to be seen. I definitely will probably work in the personal, I don't know how you would call it in American, the development department of a company, of a big company, where they develop the employees, like doing trainings and stuff like this. I had this back in my internship, where we really had some cool trainings. We had some trainings about communication, and then some personality coachings. This was quite nice. I like this, and this is also where I come from. Always had this psychological background, but then I can also see me being self-employed as a trainer, as a coach in the business context, after I have worked a few years in a company. So remains to be seen, but I also might go back to my old self-employment that I had, or if this thing works out a bit better, could also make this work. But I'm always a guy, I could see a lot of different alleys for me. I always see a lot of stuff online, and I'm like, boy, this would also be nice for me. I always see these guys that are living in their camper vans, and then they make videos traveling around the world, and I'm like, oh, this would always also be something nice for me. I guess I'm definitely a video person. Little spoiler alert, this is not my first YouTube channel, but more to that maybe at another time. Something like this. So as you might have already noticed, I'm I'm like a kind of here and there guy, right? So I can't really give you a definite answer what I will do after my studies. I'm just not that type of guy. I'm not like that straight type of guy that always knows where the road will take him next, basically. Glove72792. I will translate this. Why in English? How about a format where you could send you replays and I go over them and basically give tips. So why in English? I figured that to have the maximum amount of reach, I would have to do it in English, and I think I was right on that. A friend of mine also started a Yu-Gi-Oh! And he wanted to start a German. I told him, don't do it, make an English channel. I think it's way better. I also like to talk in English, even though you guys always point out my accent. I always read everything in English. I watch every film in English, so I feel very comfortable in English. That's why I also like to speak in this language. And I was aware of the fact that I would get a better reach if I do it in English, and I guess that turned out to be true, honestly. Obviously can't really compare it. Maybe I would be same as big as I would have done it in German, but I don't think so. So this is why I did this. And a format where you can send in your replays. This could definitely be something. If you guys are interested in that, you can let me know in the comments under this video if that's something that's interesting for you. Then we have Eljaran8515. Once again, German. Hast dich sehr verbessert, seit ich angefangen habe, dich zu schauen. Warum hast du dich entschieden, mit YouTube anzufangen? So, you really improved since I've started watching you. Thanks for that. Would be interesting for me, in which way did I improve? That would be interesting, I guess, also in speaking. I definitely had to get the hang of speaking in English on the channel. And why did I decide to start with YouTube? Actually, this was also inspired from my internship that I had in the winter. So in the winter I started playing Master Duel again, as I told you already, and then I had this internship in a big company where I liked the trainings that we did, but then once again I was like, I don't know if I see me doing this for the rest of my life, and I also hated being told what to do. As I already mentioned, I always have to do my own stuff. So I was like, okay, I once again need something where I can just do whatever I want, where I am the boss, basically. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to do like a gaming channel. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! Was big at the time for me, so I decided, okay, this could be my new project where I basically can do whatever I want to do. And this was where my motivation basically came from, starting this channel here. Yeah. These are basically my answers to your questions. I hope this was informative for you. Let me know in the comments what you think of these videos. And also I already said, if you want further questions answered, you can either post them here at the post here, but you can also obviously post them under this video that you are watching now. And if I get enough comments, we will definitely do another one. This I like 21 minutes, and I could have talked a bit more. Could have gone a bit more in depth into some topics, I guess. So we don't need a lot of questions to make another video of this. Let me know in the comments if you like this. I enjoy talking about stuff and sharing stuff with you, I have to say. But let me know what you think. Thanks for being here, and we will see each other in the next one, guys.